Coming up, the resolution to Interstate 81 is still up in the air. Citrus TV's Sabrina Maggiore tells us why cities and suburbs are shaping the future discussion to replace the current viaduct.
And another Democrat has thrown his hat in the ring for the presidency. Find out which voters Tim Ryan aims to sway to get into the Oval Office.
And new details on the Ethiopian Airlines crash that killed all on board last month. What's in store for the Boeing 737 jet? This and more on Citrus TV News live at 6.
This is Citrus TV News live at 6, your campus news leader.
This past week, Citrus TV News has looked at the future of Interstate 81 in our I-81 Crossroads series. Good evening, I'm Gilat Melamed.
And I'm Zach Lang. We've looked at the history and some of the rebuild options for the controversial highway. We are continuing that series today.
Today's Citrus TV reporter Sabrina Maggiore tells us how a city versus suburbs dynamic emerged and is now shaping discussions about the highway.
The future of I-81 is unclear, but one thing is apparent.
One of the biggest problems of this region is that dynamic of city versus suburbs.
It's a split that both sides acknowledge.
I understand the concerns of our suburban counterparts.
We respect the city's position. We do.
Two different groups with two very different perspectives on what the future of I-81 should be. In the city, the majority of businesses and elected leaders favor the community grid. They see the grid as a chance to reshape the city and right some of the wrongs that occurred when the viaduct was built.
We took 400 properties through eminent domain, forced people out of their homes, knocked down their businesses, and we can't go back and fix that, but we should be looking about how do we avoid doubling down on that? How do we avoid doing it again?
City residents say that pollution from I-81 still directly affects them. According to Miss Magazine, residents on the south side are 13 times more likely to have asthma than residents in other parts of the county. The community grid would move traffic away from the city, which residents say could help fix the pollution problem. Supporters also say it'll lead to more downtown development that'll have ripple effects for the entire community.
What is good for downtown is also historically good for the city of Syracuse and the region as a whole.
But over in the suburbs, elected leaders say the grid just isn't an option.
We feel like all options on their table except for the grid option. We just feel like that's just going to create congestion that's going to have so many concerns for us.
The primary concern is that the grid will add extra travel time for suburban commuters who would be redirected around the city on 481.
Substituting a standalone street and current alignment in Interstate 81 would cause traffic to spill into the suburbs, harming the families and businesses that have grown along Route 81.
Suburbanites also worry about increased ambulance travel times.
Do you want your parents or your loved one taken to the hospital as quickly and as effectively and as fast as possible in their time of need? The answer is yes, every time. That's our responsibility and we take it very seriously.
All 19 of the Onondaga County Town Supervisors have backed the tunnel hybrid option.
Over time it kind of coalesced where they all got together and said, yeah, we all kind of agree with this option.
For both the city and the suburbs, the issue is more than politics.
This is the most consequential decision of this community's future, and we all have a responsibility to be a part of this process.
That's why both sides are willing to continue pushing for what they believe is best. Sabrina Maggiore, Citrus TV News.
Final part of our I-81 Crossroads will be tomorrow on News Live at 6, and for all our coverage, check out CitrusTVNews.com.
New details on the Schoharie limousine crash that killed 20 last October. A new toxicology report shows the vehicle driver had significant amounts of marijuana in his system at the time of the crash. This information is crucial evidence in the criminal case against limousine company operator Nauman Hussein. Hussein is charged with one count of criminally negligent homicide. Authorities claim he ignored faulty inspections and was operating with numerous safety violations.
Onondaga County is holding free community training sessions to prevent opioid overdoses tonight. Participants will learn how to use the preventative substance naloxone. The county says naloxone will be distributed to those in need, especially people who don't have health insurance and may interact with opioid overdoses in any way. First training session is tonight at 6:30 at the North Syracuse Public Library.
Now, Gilat, I gotta say, it was pretty sunny out today, kind of warm. You'd think it would be warm at least, but the wind kind of kept it pretty chilly.
I know, the wind made it a little too chilly for me for April at least, now that we're in April, but Citrus TV weather reporter Adam Sperling's here with that and a look at our traffic.
That's right. It was okay out today. I wouldn't say it was warm, but I definitely wouldn't say it's freezing. It's about 39 degrees. It might get down to about the freezing point tonight with a little bit of wind. Let's just take a look at our traffic for tonight. We are seeing a little bit of backup on Waverly and Irving, and we are also seeing a little bit of backup on I-81, whereas Comstock and I-690 are moving very smoothly. Let's take a look at your Friday planner. We're going to be seeing temperatures start out about freezing, 33 degrees. By noon, we're going to get up to about 39 degrees. And by 6 p.m., we're going to be getting towards our highest of the day, 43 degrees. Winds and rain are going to start around noon, and we're going to be seeing some scattered showers all through the night. Now stay tuned, and I'll be back with my weekend forecast.
Thanks, Adam. And after a long off season, minor league baseball is finally back in Syracuse. Among the biggest changes, the team name. CitrusTV reporter Jefferson Fenner goes behind the scenes of opening day with the Syracuse Mets.
The weather is warmer, the grass is greener, and for sports fans, that means it's time for baseball. For fans in Syracuse, the colors blue and orange are not unique, but after the franchise changed affiliations from the Nationals to the Mets, the parent club in Queens molded the team in their image. Literally. The Syracuse Mets will take the field with their new name for the first time after being named the Chiefs in some variation since the club was founded in 1934. Some fans will have a hard time transitioning, but for merchandise director Katie Berger, the change was easy.
We're the same people, we're doing the same thing, it's the same stadium. We're just different colors with different letters on our chest.
The team has big names that will grab baseball fans' attention. While former Heisman Trophy winner Tim Tebow grabs the most recognition, the club also features big names like former World Series winner Gregor Blanco and Gold Glove winner Carlos Gomez. Play-by-play announcer Michael Tricarico says the team's veteran roster will bring fans into the ballpark.
Anytime you have guys with that type of experience on a team here in AAA, I think you find that those tend to be the most the teams that do the best.
One of those veterans is Daniel Zamora, a 25-year-old relief pitcher who spent time in the majors last year. A fearless player, he says the team is ready for the season ahead.
I mean, it's baseball at the end of the day. We don't really worry about who we're playing. We got to worry about just doing what we need to do. As long as we do what we're supposed to do, the team we're playing is somewhat irrelevant.
The Syracuse Mets started their 2019 campaign at home this afternoon at 2:05 when they took on the Pawtucket Red Sox. Pitcher Hector Santiago, who the Mets acquired in free agency this January, got the nod to start for the Blue and Orange, and both the staff and the team are ready for the season to get into the swing of things. Reporting from NBT Bank Stadium, Jefferson Fenner, Citrus TV News.
For the results of that game against Pawtucket, Citrus TV's Adam Unger will have a full recap later in sports.
Coming up, the pool of candidates for the 2020 election is growing as Representative Tim Ryan officially entered the race earlier today.
And speculation into the Mueller report. Could there be more damaging info about the Trump administration that Attorney General isn't letting on? That and more on the other side of the break.
Well, Thomas, you've got pre-diabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. Big time.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. God, no.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Come on, it's not that hard.
My big man fingers are having a problem with these little tiny buttons.
Whoa, watch it there. Your blood pressure's gonna go through the roof.
Tell me about it. I'm trying to learn how to get it down. Instead, it keeps going up.
High blood pressure can increase the risk for heart attack or stroke. Learn how to keep yours at a healthy range.
Ever hear a voice command? Just say text barbershop to 97779.
That's not what I said.
Just give me that. Now my blood pressure's up.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was
weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers, but you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
If you see news happening on campus, in Syracuse, or across the nation, call the CitrusTV Newsroom, 315-443-1177, or tweet at CitrusTV News, your campus news leader.
Democratic Congressman Tim Ryan announced today that he will be entering his name in the 2020 presidential election race.
Ryan currently represents Ohio's 13th congressional district, and in 2016, he ran against Nancy Pelosi for House Democratic leader.
Ryan plans to appeal to middle-class Midwestern voters, which does not differentiate him from the prospective voter pool of opponent Kirsten Gillibrand.
Also on the Hill, investigators say the Mueller report may contain far more damaging information than Attorney General Barr is alluding to.
Mueller's team announced that the report did not accurately depict the results of the 2-year investigation into President Trump's administration, suggesting that the real results were far more damaging.
This news comes as the House Judiciary Committee approved a subpoena to obtain the Mueller report.
Release the Mueller report as soon as possible. And let me just say, the Mueller report will be released.
Yesterday, the House Ways and Means Committee chairman asked for the IRS for 6 years of President Trump's business and personal tax returns. The president has said that he is not inclined to comply with the request.
CitrusTV analyst Michael Furnari is here to break down the legal battle to come.
Back in 2016, President Trump broke with tradition by declining to release his tax returns to the public. In 2017, Trump's 2005 tax returns were leaked, showing that Trump had paid far more in taxes than most had expected. Now, we'll see if the IRS will release 6 years of Trump's tax returns from the years 2013 to 2018 as requested. Trump says he is not planning to release any returns over to Congress. Take a listen to what Press Secretary Sarah Sanders had to say today.
We're not interested in playing a bunch of political games like the Democrats in Congress clearly want to spend their time doing. The president's focus on actually solving real problems like the crisis at the border, dealing with health care, and a number of other fronts.
The House committee has sought information from multiple entities in President Trump's extensive business network. House Democrats argue that this kind of information request is squarely within Congress's legal authority. The IRS Commissioner Charles Rettig was appointed by President Trump, and at this point it is legally unclear if the IRS could or would audit the president. The House chairman has set an April 10th deadline for the release of the returns. Zach and Gilat, back to you.
Thanks, Michael. And the latest in international news, New Zealand has brought more charges against the Christchurch shooter.
50 people were killed when the shooter attacked a New Zealand mosque in March. Brenton Harrison Tarrant will be formally charged Friday with 50 counts of murder and 39 counts of attempted murder.
Tarrant was previously charged with 1 count of murder, and further charges are still under consideration.
And new details in the Ethiopian airplane crash that left no survivors.
Ethiopian Transportation Ministry officials say the pilots on Flight 302 performed all procedures correctly, but were still unable to control the aircraft. The report says the Boeing 737 passed all safety inspections and all pilots on board were trained.
Ethiopian authorities are recommending the evaluation of the jet's safety system before any further 737 flights.
Coming up, robocalls are plaguing New York State. Citrus TV's David Edelstein will share his tips for avoiding the scam after the break.
And Citrus TV weather anchor Adam Sperling will have what to expect outside in his full weather forecast after the break.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent. We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness. I am a witness. I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
Every time I hear the alarm bell go off in school, I think it's an air raid.
A lot of houses in our neighborhood have been destroyed. I like to close my ears and sing songs whenever the bombs come close.
I'm worried our new neighbors won't like us.
But I know it's all gonna be worth it. I just want my family to be safe. But these are not my words.
These are not my words.
These are not my words.
the Citrus TV Weather Center. This is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
Welcome back to Citrus TV News. We now welcome weather anchor Adam Sperling with us.
Yeah, Adam, it seems that as we were heading into the afternoon, it started to get a little bit warmer. Is that going to continue as we head into the evening?
Yeah, it was getting a little bit warmer, but unfortunately that is not going to continue into tonight. Let's take a look. It's going to be about 39 degrees. That's going to be the start of the night. We are going to see it get much, much colder throughout the night. It's going to get frigid. It's going to be just around the freezing point, and we are going to be seeing some low winds. So the cause of the cold is really just the cold. Let's take a look at our weekend planner. And we're going to be seeing Friday is going to be probably the worst day of the weekend, high of 44, low of 41, possible freezing rain in the early morning, and we are going to be seeing some winds throughout. Saturday, we're going to be seeing a high of 56, low of 36. It's going to be warmest around 5 p.m., so that might be a nice night to go out for dinner, and we're going to be seeing some low winds throughout the day. Sunday, our best day, high of 64, low of 51, some rain late, but might be t-shirt weather. Now let's take a look at our next week 5-day forecast. Monday, thunderstorms, lightning, very, very frightening me. High of 64, low of 48. Tuesday, we're going to be seeing a high of 58, low of 36, rainy afternoon. Wednesday, sunny afternoon, but much colder. Thursday and Friday, we're going to be seeing a few showers throughout. High of 49, high of 52, respectively. Zach, Gilat?
Thanks, Adam. And I don't like lightning either, but here's another problem we can all relate to: getting automated robocalls. Citrus TV News reporter David Edelstein tells us the one tip that will keep your information safe from these potential scams.
I was traveling cross country and sitting in an airport, and I get a call from the Social Security office, supposedly.
At least that's what they said on the call.
This call is from the Department of Social Security Administration. The reason you have received this phone call from our department is to inform you that we just suspend your Social Security number because we found some suspicious activity. So if you want to know about this case, just press 1. Thank you.
And I went, what? I kind of laughed and deleted it and blocked that caller.
This is part of a recent trend of scam calls targeting people trying to steal their Social Security numbers. Earl Bacher is the executive director of the Syracuse Jewish Community Center, and from her role working with members of all ages, she says senior citizens are particularly vulnerable.
I'm thinking, you know, imagine if it was my mother who took this phone call. I guarantee you she would have been really nervous and would have probably called.
And while one recommendation to prevent these calls is just to block the number on your cell phone, some members of the older community are using landlines, which don't have that option. The JCC holds lunch and learns once a month to talk about information seniors should know, Social Security being a topic in the past and might be one once again. Adult Programming Coordinator Cindy Sine says there is one tip, though, that always works.
Just goodbye. There's no information that you need to be giving out. Period.
Stein adds that anyone can be a target of these scam calls that try and steal information, not just any one group of people. David Edelstein, Citrus TV News.
Social Security Administration's website says the only time you should give any personal information over the phone is if you make the phone call, not if someone calls you.
New details for frozen foods. Frozen food distributor Advanced Pierre Foods Incorporated is issuing a recall of over 20,000 pounds of possibly contaminated frozen meat. The problem was discovered this week when meat product distributed to schools was discovered to contain soft purple plastic. There have been no confirmed health issues related to contamination. While the product was served in schools, it is not associated with the National School Lunch Program.
And coming up in sports, Syracuse teams can finally get outside. SU women's lacrosse took on Virginia Tech at Christian Brothers Academy last night, and the Syracuse Mets opened up their season at NBT Bank Stadium earlier today. I've got those results and more right after this.
Fancy pants peanut butter? A big screen television? You haven't even bought a sofa yet. A motorcycle? When your father finds out, he's gonna flip his shoes with 2 buckles? What do you even need 2 buckles for?
Mr. Big Shot, buying whiskey shots for everybody in the bar. From the looks of it, I'd say nobody even remembers.
Feed the pig.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
I spy something beginning with S.
Snow.
No.
Snow-covered trees.
Nothing to do with snow.
Head outside to discover incredible animals and beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure.
Wow.
So grab your loved ones.
Don't even.
And explore a world of possibilities.
Come on, this way.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you.
You've messed up your son's haircut.
Mom?
Do you A, try to fix it?
Like it never happened.
B, work with what you got? Or C, show solidarity?
Thank you, baby.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
And now, your CitrusTV Sports Report.
Welcome back to News Live at 6. I'm Adam Unger. Syracuse women's lacrosse has been on an absolute tear lately. Indoors, outdoors, or on the road, it doesn't really matter. They've won their last 6 straight, and 3 of those have been against ranked opponents. The number 3 Orange hosted number 21 Virginia Tech at Christian Brothers Academy last night. Now, being outside is nothing new to Syracuse, but this time it's because Monster Jam is coming to the Dome this weekend. No problem for the Syracuse offense, though. Early on, Nicole Levy with the pump fake finds Megan Tyrell for a goal. That put the Orange up 4-0 less than 4 minutes into the game. Orange rolling early on, and Nicole Levy finds a different Megan, another freshman, Megan Carney. She had 4 goals and 5 assists in this one. An incredible night for her, and Syracuse just continuing to pile it on. Just 17 seconds left in the first half. Nicole Levy's been on the passing end for a couple feeds. This time she finishes in front herself, put the Orange up 10-6, and that's the score going into the break. Now, second half, Virginia Tech. They're a number 21 team in the country, in the top 25. In a very strong ACC, they start to make a run. Kelsey O'Donnell gets the feed from Julia Bolt. 14-12 Syracuse now with a minute 31 to go. So Syracuse trying to hang on, but they turn the ball over, and Taylor Caskey able to capitalize on the other end off of that turnover, and suddenly the Orange leads by only 1 with 30 seconds to go. So Syracuse has to rely on their star on the draw control. Sweating bullets as a 50-50 ground ball ensues. Emily Harris-Chuck able to get the draw control. Syracuse able to get the ball, run the clock out, and they win 14-13. And head coach Gary Gate had nothing but praise for Megan Carney after the game.
It was a big day for her. Right from the opening, the first possession, she found for the first goal, she got the assist, and she has that potential. That's why she plays. It was just one of those games where they were covering their 3 minutes with 4 people, making the attack open. So, you know what? She stepped up, and along with some of the other attackers, and played well.
And from the field to the diamond, the Syracuse Mets opened their season today against the Pawtucket Red Sox. And along with the game debut of the team's new affiliation and their new look, it was also Tim Tebow's debut in Central New York. Our own Jake Fenner and weather anchor Adam Sperling already let us know it's a great day for baseball, but the Mets just dropped their season opener 6-3 to the Red Sox in extra innings. A double from Tony Renda in the top of the 10th drove in 3 runs to seal the deal for the Sox. And Tebow's debut didn't exactly live up to the hype. The International League rookie went 0 for 4 and struck out twice today. The Mets and Tebow will square off against Pawtucket again in the second of a 4-game series tomorrow at 1:05. And in the bigs, the New York Mets also didn't have too much luck. The Washington Nationals blanked them 4-0 this afternoon. Steven Strasburg picked up the win for the Nats and retired 9 batters in 6 2/3 innings. And the Yankees-Orioles game is still ongoing. They're up 5-4 in the top of the 9th. The Bronx Bombers came to life in the top of the 6th with a pair of homers from Gary Sanchez and Gleyber Torres. And moving to the ice as the NHL season winds down, a pair of New York teams are in action tonight. Matt Barzal and the Islanders are taking on the Florida Panthers, and if the Isles win, they're still in the running for the Metropolitan Division Championship. And the Sabres are hosting the Senators at the KeyBank Center. Now, neither of them are even close to making the Stanley Cup playoffs. They're 7th and 8th in the Atlantic Division, respectively. Both games start at 7 p.m.
Now everyone's talking about the NHL playoffs, but we'd like to talk about opening day in baseball for the Syracuse Mets. What was your biggest takeaway from today's game?
Well, Tim Tebow still has a lot of adjustments to make, and I know it's something that we've heard a lot, but it's just the speed of the game. It continues to grow and grow every time he makes an ascension up towards the major leagues. So this is really nothing new for Tebow. It's just going to take him some time to get used to the cold. You saw him go 0 for 4 today. I don't think it's going to happen in the future.
Someone who had a better game than Tebow, though, Megan Carney yesterday in women's lacrosse, 9 points. Tell us what else we can expect from her this season.
Well, she has been tremendous all season long. She was the facilitator that Syracuse thought it was going to be missing in Riley Donahue, who graduated from the program, able to really get the ball to shooters like Nicole Levy, Emily Harris-Chuck. So she's been in that role all season, but she showed against Virginia Tech yesterday she can score for herself, too.
All right, thanks for joining us, Adam.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Taking care of a family member can lead to plenty of questions. Fortunately, there's a place to get the answers, for them and for you. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
I see you mobbing over her. Let's go. Let's mob. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, girl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl.
Welcome back to Citrus TV News, and now we're back here with Adam Sperling, our weather anchor. What should I be wearing over the weekend?
Well, let's take a look. We're going to be seeing a little bit of rain all over the place. So I'm going to say wear something pretty light. It's going to be in the 40s, 50s, and 60s all weekend. I'm going to say wear a light winter coat, but be prepared to just hold it all day. But definitely bring an umbrella no matter where you are, when you are.
So one thing I'm seeing there is a lot of clouds. When can we expect the sun to return?
We can expect the sun to return, I'd say maybe Monday or Tuesday. But again, that's going to be for a little bit of time occasionally in between clouds and rain and cold.
All right, a gray weekend here in Syracuse. And it's a holiday here at Citrus TV today. It's National Hug a News Person Day. If you see any of your local news workers out in the field, be sure to give them a hug.
And if you see any of our members at Citrus TV, the cast and crew, be sure to give them a hug too. And you can see a bunch of our members up there, Gilat and myself. But also, we wish that we could extend a hug across the pond to some of our friends. Allie Heath, you see there in the center, Zach Levine right behind Gilat, and so many more.
Yeah, and then we have our director up there too, Connor Federico, in the control room. We'll make sure to hug him when he gets out.
And of course, our executive producer, Jishnu Nair.
And that's all the time we have today on Citrus TV News. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook at Citrus TV News. I'm Gilat Melamed.
And I'm Zach Lang. Have a great night, Syracuse.